And this is where I messed up too. Or at least how I feel. It depends on how y'all see things.
I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else, let me like you do.
I saw the fight happening because I was there, and I didn't do anything. He was some short little thing. Susie is about 5'10". She's very tall. You know, and he was short. I think he was shorter than me. I'm 5'7". He was just grossy. He was exactly the name that we gave him. But, you know, she fought back. But needless to say, she didn't have to fight back because he shouldn't have put his hands on her. But I also shouldn't have just stood there. I was shocked. This is my first time ever seeing a man put his hands on a female. I forget. I'm sure somebody broke it up or something. I'm sure of that. But the point is, I didn't do anything. And I believe that is where our friendship really, this is all in the 11th grade. I believe that's when our friendship really took a turn for the worse. And to make matters worse, everybody around school was like, yo, y'all heard of that fight? Oh, Cieara, you was there. What happened to you? Why you didn't help her? I mean, everybody in class, you didn't help her? I remember somebody even asked when she was in front of me after everything happened and, you know, they took him away and all that stuff. Everybody's nosy, you know, and whenever a fight break out, everybody has to know. And they were like, in front of her, like, yeah, but Cieara, like, weren't you there? Like, you didn't do nothing? And they also asked her, like, but what happened? Like, where was your friend? And she was just like, I don't know. That was a tough blow for me. I remember when I came home, I felt like a coward. And I felt like she had every reason not to want to be friends with me again. And it wasn't until after, you know, when it happened, I froze up. I didn't like know what to do. I know what I should have done. I should have stepped in. I mean, she's supposed to be my best friend, right? If you're supposed to be my best friend, where are you? You know what I'm saying? That's the real true test of time. And that is when I believe things went for the worse. And it did. And as I talk about this, I think after that fight with him and I didn't come to her aid, I think that's when she started to hang out with those girls. As I'm talking, I think that's when everything really started to go downhill. She started to hang out with the girls, you know, smoking weed and, you know, hanging out with this and that person and just living a life that I wasn't too fond of. I think that was when that happened. And then I had the nerve and the audacity. I remember telling her, I was like, the reason why I didn't, you know, fight for you is because, you know, I had my hair in, because I had a ponytail weave in. I said I had my hair in and I didn't want like to fight and my hair like come off. Like that would be embarrassing. And I remember laughing, like I laughed when I said that. And I remember she didn't laugh. And she didn't have any reason to laugh. I mean, it's like, are you serious? Not only did you not help me, but you trying to say the reason you didn't help me is because you didn't. To be honest, that was true. It's because you didn't want to get embarrassed. Like you didn't want your hair, your ponytail weave to fall out. Like, are you serious? But remember what I'm saying, y'all. This is my story time and this is what I want y'all to see and know so y'all know how friendships can go haywire. Now, granted, that didn't warrant what happened going further, but it definitely did serve as a point. Y'all, I need to hurry up with this video because I have a light on top of my camera and it's emitting heat downward to my camera, so my cameras keep running hot and it's cutting off and I'm getting tired of having it cool down to turn it back on. But anyway, to make a long story short, she got into that situation and me being her best friend, I did absolutely nothing. So I do believe that is what tainted our friendship. That was like the beginning of the end. She didn't say it. She never said anything, but you could tell, you know, that, you know, she felt some type of way and rightfully so. Like I said before, I do believe that was when she started to hang out with that crew. She really did. And that actually makes more sense with the timeline. So I started to confide in other people, yada, 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 and it got to her. And, I mean, obviously when it got to her, it wasn't good. And I forget all the in-betweens, but long story short, we had MySpace or Facebook at that time. And, it just got nasty. I remember that I went over to somebody's house. somebody's house, I think to get my hair braided or something like that. And she was there with, you know, I guess the girls that I don't care to hang around with. And it got so bad that she got upset, because at this point it's like you going around school talking about me to other people. And remember what I said, like she's a hothead, like, you know, you know how they say like Haitian women are crazy? Yeah, like that's the type of energy that she had. Yeah, she threw like a comb or a brush at me, you know, trying to fight me. I knew at that point I was confiding in people. Was I talking nasty about her to other people? No. I was just confiding in them, or whenever they would ask me, because everybody knew that we were like BFFs. So, you know, I would tell them, and that's where I messed up at, because you gotta go to the source, girl. Like, what you talk? These people can't, you know, explain away the reasons why why you feel like your friend is changing. They don't have the answers, but that's what I did. So I think that, coupled with me not helping her when the fight happened, you know, and then I'm sure she had people in her ear that was probably like, yo, you know, don't be friends with her. She's not a good friend and everything. And I could understand that. But don't listen to people that's in your ear. You know, the same thing would go both ways. You know, you talk it out. And neither one of us came to each other, but I should have been the one that came to her when the fight happened, because come on now. But anyway, so fast forward, once that happened and she threw a comb at me, like trying to fight me, that was when I knew that this friendship was done. I said, yeah, it's done. It's a wrap. Because I have my boundaries. I have my lines. I'm like, I wasn't perfect. You see how I told you what I did wrong, right? I wasn't perfect. But I think before that too was like some stuff that was going on online. You know, like a little bit like back and forth online, if I can remember correctly. It was just messy. It was messy. And that night when she threw the comb at me, I feel like for her, that was like the final straw. And yeah, that's when, for me, it was a final straw for her, I guess. And that was the final straw for me. Because by this point in time, me and her were just not really hanging out at all, because we were two different people. Like, if I could tell you, we were like polar opposites by that time. By that time, I'm doing my own thing, kind of, so we'll probably say hey now and then, and she's doing her own thing. But we really were not. We weren't like how we were before. What I realized later on in life, I'm like, you know, people change. You know, people change. Not everybody is going to see things the way I see things. Not everybody is going to believe in the things that I believe in. Not everybody, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to have the type of integrity or thought process or morals. And everybody's not going to have that as me. And whenever they don't have it, I have a choice. I can either stay in their life or I can remove myself. But I guess I wanted to fight for the friendship, but I didn't do it any justice on my end from confiding in the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? About time it got to her, it was just like a whole, you know, fiasco. The whole fight situation, if we really wanted to fight for our friendship, we could have easily had like a conversation, a heart to heart, and we could have moved past it. But like I say again, listen, in life, things happen for a reason. And it is what it is. And that's how that happened. So that was the blow up. That was the climax of it all. And after that, it was hostile in school. Yeah. At this point, I think that's when we were getting into senior year. By senior year, I think everything like died down. It was clear, it was known that me and her weren't really friends. It was weird because like we would see each other in the hallway, but we would just walk past each other. But when I say I saw a completely different girl, I myself was going through changes by senior year. You know, I was becoming a young adult, but I still kept who I was in sight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. For me, I just felt like she was just, I didn't see the same Susie. I didn't see the same Susie. She was very different. I even felt like she was more hostile when she was hanging out with the girls. and I guess becoming her own self. And I didn't like what I saw. And I was just, you know, every time I would walk past her in the hallway, I remember, because certain things I do remember. Whenever I would walk by her in the hallway or outside or whatever, going in between classes, and I would see her, I would like get this like throbbing in my stomach. This was after the whole like cone throwing situation, you know, and I was bitter. I was bitter after that, because I'm like, it's one thing for you to not like me anymore, but it's another thing for you to try to turn physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you're in my personal space. Now you're in my personal space now. And you're trying to harm me physically. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't solve anything, because I'm still going to have my own mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, fighting doesn't solve anything. There are certain things that you need to fight over, but that wasn't one of them. Because what's going to happen? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you fight and then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, fighting doesn't really solve anything, especially with women. Fighting actually make things worse. We're not like men where we could, like, you know, scrap it out and then 2 minutes later, like, we having a beer. Like, with girls, you fight and you'll be fighting forever. So it's stupid, it's senseless, even till now. Anybody who fight, you have a low IQ. You know, if you fight over reasons that's not your family, you know, somebody's threatening your physical well-being. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that you have to fight about, especially if somebody put hands on you. You have to protect yourself. But if it's something about, oh, you're talking mess, like, what are you fighting over? You know what I'm saying? But that's how I felt then, and that's really how I feel now too. Like, let people talk. They talked about Jesus, so who are you? Getting back to senior year. So senior year, we went through senior year, just totally doing our own thing. That's when I really realized that, hey, we're two totally different beings. We're on two totally different paths. At that point in time, I believe I was still cool with, I would still talk to her sisters. Yeah. And of course, there was nothing that they could really do about the situation, but I was still cool with them. It wasn't a situation where she wasn't cool with me, so her sisters weren't cool with me. At least that's not how I felt. So when we walked across the stage, even at graduation in 12th grade, I saw her. We still, you know, didn't speak. And then that was that. We graduated. Since then, I don't know where she's at in the world, but that was my story to you guys, just to show y'all that you outgrow friendships. You know what I'm saying? You can outgrow friendships. Now, hopefully your outgrowing of your friendship didn't end like ours did. Hopefully it didn't. You know, I would hope it didn't, but sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles, and that's how it happened for me. I took a lot from that situation though. I took a lot of that, you know, knowledge with me, how to handle conflict and how to, you know, really talk about what's going on, and don't to be telling people about what's going on who can't help you. You tell that person, and if you feel like you can't tell that person, then it's best that you take a step back altogether. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was it. 2012, we graduated. After high school, I had nothing but male friends. I've always been drawn to dudes. I've always been drawn to dudes as having friendships with, because they don't really carry all, you know, they don't carry all of the emotions that us women do. You know what I'm saying? They're just more chill and relaxed. At least the dudes that I was in contact with. I know you got some female dudes, you know, who act like women, but yeah, no, those wasn't the ones that I associated with. So I've always been the type of girl that liked dudes. I believe that, I would say that the downfall of me and my friendship with Susie, that's what really catapulted it. But hey, listen, that's been so many years ago now, since what, 2012? I don't know where this girl is at in the world or what she's doing, but you know, of course I wish her all the best. And you know, her sisters and everything too. And of course I have my sisters. I have lovely, lovely sisters in my life. I have family who loves me to death. So with my family, my sisters, and you know, the 2 or 3 special people in my life since then, and even current, I'm so loved. And this is just to, you know, show y'all, you know, and hey, this is my story time. This is my, you know, high school saga, I would say. And this video may be long, I don't know. This camera kept cutting off because, like I said, this light that I really like, it's just, that's the downside of it. Like when you got it mounted to my Sony camera, it emits light into my camera, and the camera is quick to turn off if it senses that it's getting overheated. But I have to have this light on because I'm telling y'all, y'all would not like. Let me show y'all. Hold on. This is how it will look. How does that look? If y'all tell me this look good, then hey, I'll do it. But it's better when you have, some light on, right? The quality is better and everything, and y'all get to really see me. But yeah, y'all, so this was your girl story time. Again, I don't always get very personal, but I do understand, since I am now doing content here on YouTube, in order for me to be more relatable, I would like to share with y'all, you know, a few things in my lifetime. And hopefully this will serve as, I don't know, some type of lesson, some type of knowledge. You know, I'm not sure the age range of people who are looking at my videos, but if y'all are teenagers or preteens, just take heed to my story and my experience, and try your best to avoid it as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? And just know that you don't need to change yourself to fit in with anyone. Don't change yourself. I didn't change myself. But you also saw where I went wrong too, with confiding in people. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going to that person and telling them how I felt. The reality is, no matter how close you are with a person, you're not that person, and that person is not you. You know what I'm saying? They can't duplicate your fingerprint, and same vice versa. But yeah, this is my story time, and I hope that it served as something for y'all to take heed to. But anyways, y'all, this video was long enough. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's keep this conversation going in the comment section below. Until next time, peace.